Weather Impact Live. Mike,
Let's
Franklin,
go.
how we doing?
Well, I enjoy singing some Ozzy Osbourne with you here this morning.
We did. We got pumped up, a little crazy train.
Well, our weather's been a crazy train.
It has.
Oh.
And it's like what's that old roller coaster at Disney, Thunder Mountain Railroad?
I like that one. I'm not usually good on roller coasters, but I'll go on that one.
That's just good enough. And it's just the kind of roller coaster ride, just a bit wacky that we're going to get over the next few days. But we got a lot to talk about. Meteorologist Mike Prangley. I'm meteorologist Lewis Turner here at First Coast News. So glad you're streaming along with us. And we're starting off with our drought monitor, fresh
and FR.
And hot off the
For
presses.
real.
Faux real.
This is the update. I mean, this is, and we don't like to see this. And this is no surprise, Lou. We're seeing that dark magenta expand. That's not just extreme drought. That's exceptional. Let's zoom on into home. Ready? Here we go.
Yeah. And that does include parts of Columbia County and, Baker.
I see Waycross and just northwest of Waycross. So Ware County's
in it. Yeah, it's creeping into what we call the first coast of Florida.
A lot of
that
crunchy,
exceptional.
Crunchy lawns out there. And we know that the trouble started last year, really, this problem last January. And then the hurricane season, of course, got very quiet. And usually we get at least half of our precipitation, yearly precipitation during our tropical
just because of tropical months.
And
exactly
then we didn't get much in the way of that. So it's a price to pay for having a quieter peak season here at home. But unfortunately, as we moved into the winter months and into the first of our 2026, the first part of our year, we were still in a La Nina pattern. And what that does, it usually brings us a drier than normal pattern. So when we say La Nina, usually we're watching what's happening in the Pacific Ocean, the jet stream, and it's all compounded itself. So it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Eventually, I've been showing a map showing, that it's going to turn around as we head toward our rainy season. The problem, Lou, is our rainy season doesn't kick in until late May, early June. So this exceptional drought may even expand a little bit more before all said and done. And then you coincide that with the peak fire season, April, May, first part of June. That's not a good combination.
And if you want to go even take it a step further with the El Nino forecast, could our tropical season be a little more tame? Maybe. There's already organizations putting out their forecasts for the upcoming season.
The same ones that said we'd have the worst hurricane season ever.
Precisely.
So that's why you
take that with a grain of salt, please.
Your local news does matter.
100%. And a lot of folks want the clicks. I want clicks too, but I want to get them the right way. And we won't know until we know. And sometimes long range forecasts, while helpful, you got to consider the source. But anyway, that being said, we see that drought condition there. What that exceptional drought in that area it's over is troubling too, because that is a heavily wooded area as well. We're talking about national forests over this area. Jefferson, is that right, out west? Even getting close to Ocala National Forest. And so you've got those forests. Then you've got, we know we got Okefenokee Swamp, which has the extreme drought in it, and that's prone to getting those kind of dry fuels that can spark forest fires. So with this in mind, we kind of dread the idea of frequent lightning, particularly in these areas. Now, in the current forecast, we don't have that over the next 7 days. It's kind of that give and take. We want the rain. We don't want the thunderstorms with it, with the lightning, because that's what will spark some of these big wildfire seasons that we get into. Looking at just the year.
This is just this year.
This year. Already just this month, we're about an inch below where we should be for March. Which we've had rain events this month, but they just haven't been significant, and we haven't stacked them up. But we're running about 5 inches already below, and we're only in the third, really just about through the third month of 2026.
Yeah, and I was scooting up that fire forecast, fire danger. So let's scoot that up near the top here. And, we're going to start heating up. So that's also not a good combination out there. So as we look at and put this back into show mode, exceptional drought now spreading into areas of Ware County, Clinch County, Columbia County, and here we go. One more time. This just came in, so if you're wondering why we're zooming in, this is your fresh information. This is why we stream. We're real time here. This is our breaking updated news. And as you look at the fire danger, Lou, I updated the charts here this afternoon. We see the sunshine. We know we're going to have the 80s. We're still going to have that east breeze blow in, and I have elevated fire risk, and then maybe even critical tomorrow as we heat up even more and dry out, and then maybe a little bump in the road. But this is going to be the theme here as we head through the spring months, elevated to critical fire risk, unfortunately.
Yeah, and we'll kind of, that's going to persist until we get a good soaker.
Yeah, maybe about 6 or 7 good soakers.
We need several, don't we?
We do.
Look at the weather watchers chiming in this morning. How about the fog?
Brenda, she's amazing,
Always
as
a
you
winner.
know. And we had Linda from San Jose send in some pictures. But there's the USS Orlick, a Main Street bridge. So a lot of folks say, well, you and Lou, you guys show this quarter-mile visibility. Honey, I don't know what quarter-mile is. You talk like a quarter. Lou, I saw a mile down the road.
Yep.
So we use the bridges here. So if you were driving across the Main Street bridge, when you just get ready to go over it, all right, by Ruth Chris there.
Yep.
And you can't see to the other side. That's when usually you're seeing the quarter mile or less visibility. That's the rule of thumb. If you can't see across the Main Street bridge, there's likely going to be a fog advisory, and it's dangerous fog.
Bingo. And another rule of thumb I like to use for our beaches communities, the Jacksonville Beach Pier is exactly 1/4 mile.
Okay.
So if you can't see the end of if you're out on a beach walk and you can't see the end of the pier, you're at 1/4 mile visibility, and that would be dense fog, near zero visibility, dangerous driving conditions. So remember that. And remember high school when you had to run track, and the tracks are always 1/4 mile. It was 4 times around the track. That equaled 1 mile for your presidential physical fitness test, if you remember that. What's your best mile time?
Boy. I may have broken 6 a couple to 5 something, 540 something, 549, but that was years ago.
That's amazing.
But it's not about the speed; it's about the steps.
About the steps,
the quality,
about the stamina.
So,
and I know
in the stamina,
you're a stallion when it comes to.
I try.
To
it's
that,
just a lot of work. And then this morning the runner index we had to give 6.
Had to lower it. That's not like you.
It was awful to say a 6 out of 10, and you can see why. There's First Coast. Do you see Lake Degan there?
I do.
Can you give us a history of Lake Degan?
Well, Lake Degan, this is our former chief meteorologist, one of a kind guy, Tim. He was here for 40 years.
He's great, yes.
And he was known to take an apple and take a walk. And he would always get
or cantaloupe.
A cantaloupe, yep, but some type of melon, or he'd have
he had these enormous
hands. And I always would think that maybe the cantaloupe was an apple with the way with which he was holding it.
We do our walks around 4:30.
But you got to take a walk as a meteorologist. You got to get outside the building and
because these maps change, and a lot of times and you say what you need to know what's really happening.
You have to see the earth, see the sky,
and you can really.
But he would take his walk right around that lake every single day. And
Mike, exhale, inhale,
yep.
Calm, exhale, happiness.
He taught us a lot, didn't he?
He did.
And I thought to many years ago, probably 15 years ago now, I thought to myself, this would be the way to honor him is to name a lake after him. And while it is a retention pond outside the muddy banks of First Coast.
But he appreciated it. So he did know that we called it Lake Degan, right?
I said it to his face numerous times. I don't know if he just brushed it off or what, but it is Lake Degan.
Okay.
And it's for Uncle Tim. This is Tim Degan. And
it is our Tim. I quoted him on air this morning. I said, leave the dinghy at the dock.
I did that last night.
Did you?
I did the exact same thing. Yes.
And you said Tim Degan.
I didn't quote Tim Degan, but he always said leave the dinghy at the dock. I should have attributed that to him. But because we did have small craft advisories offshore, and we had a little intermediate chop in the intracoastal.
Yes. All right. We missed our Tim, but
we sure do. It's good to remember.
It is.
In text,
it's good to know your roots, so I appreciate
100% and where you learned your lessons.
Me, and he taught us every day. Was a pleasure being with Tim, and now I've got my TV brother here, and it's always a pleasure being with you.
You and I got to run point.
Yes, and someday maybe we'll get a body of water named after us.
I know. What could it be? Well, we have, both of our retention ponds are claimed because we've got Lake Degan, and the one over on Lot J
you
is
see
Lake.
There's
Lake
a puddle
Blaylock.
I could
Yeah, take that. Maybe I think one day your name is going to be on that third base line, Mike.
How about a statue?
That's
A
what
Lewis Turner statue?
No, a Mike
Yeah,
Franklin.
Lewis
Well, they've
Turner
got the
statue.
runner statue on the river.
They do.
That needs to have Prangley inscribed on it.
If
You
they're
run by
used-
that. You've
If
run
they're
by
using
that.
my like and kindness, they do need
They-
need
NIL.
to- like Frank Thomas. They
Yes.
need to pay.
They need to pay up.
That's
Absolutely.
another story.
63 degrees downtown this
63.
morning. And we show you this because that 96%
All right.
relative humidity and that fog.
We got a
potential.
ton of maps here, so let's go. So we finally got better visibility.
Yep.
Okay, weather words of the day. The S's. Lou, you want to guess?
I'm going to guess sandals.
Okay.
Soupy fog.
Well, we got to start with the fog. All right,
Sure.
next one is going to be close.
Sensational.
For sandals.
Put
and
that in shorts weather.
I like
So, okay.
sandals weather though.
Yeah. Get the
Okay.
shorts out today and tomorrow.
And
but
there's the ocean and
it is beautiful. We got a lot of roller coaster rides that we've got to take.
Next 12 hours. Are you going to be walking in the parking lot today? 'Cause
Yes.
It looks nice out.
Going to take my afternoon walk. Got to avoid the geese who are
I had
roosting
one-
and nesting.
The goose actually lifted off the ground. He actually flew at me,
Yeah.
and I've never had that happen.
They are actively
Okay.
incubating their eggs.
Yeah, so I didn't mess with mine, just kept running. I ran fast. And
Good.
then today's highs, if you're dodging the geese, we're not dodging any rain, lighter wind, and notice the lunchtime temperature 77, burn time 20 minutes. So Lou, nice to see us warming up even at the beach today, mid 70s
Yep.
to low 80s.
And even better tomorrow.
Yeah, now next
What about
round of
tomorrow
fog.
morning?
We got 2 days of this, foggy to sunny. We showed you the weather words, right?
Oh, look at it
Okay.
encroaching in.
So I said, this looks familiar. And I said, well, I think it's probably safe that we'll probably have some fog advisories. So we have another weather impact alert as we look at late tonight, tomorrow morning, between 4 and 10 o'clock. And again, that fog could linger till about 10 a.m. So there it is. The update, near zero in some spots like this morning, you betcha. You won't be able to see across the Main Street Bridge or at the end of the Jacks Beach Pier. And then we're using extreme caution. Tomorrow, we got our morning painted in red for the fog, but look at it again. Tomorrow could even be warmer, huh?
Yeah. And with that warmer start, foreshadowing a nice warm afternoon as well.
80s, 80 in the beaches. and then
Near 90.
90's the record.
And so
Will we get the record? Your call.
Well, we've been going 88 pretty consistently.
Did you notice I kept your 88?
I did.
I didn't know you looked at such things.
Yeah, 100%. I wanted to do 89 yesterday, and our colleague Ross,
No, 89. Yeah.
he said, "No, we're sticking with 88."
And
I
I
said-
stuck with you all.
But on our stream yesterday, I said I think I am going to put a flag in the sand. I think there will be a site. Now, it may not Jacksonville because we're going to stick with our 88. It looks like,
Are you going to go to the sandy loams of Cecil?
but you might go out to the sandy loams of Cecil.
You my quote.
And find a 90 out there somewhere tomorrow. I made a gentleman's bet. It wasn't a bet. It was just a gentleman's wager with Ross that I think one of these sites, whether it's Waycross to Fargo, down,
right,
down
now
to
I'm gonna
Keystone,
be
that we
watching
get a 90.
this.
Yeah, now I've
I'm
got
going to watch. Now I'm all excited.
My interest is peaked.
Jumbo Shrimp, is it true you're throwing the first pitch on?
Not tomorrow.
Well, then that's a mistake.
Then it's a
Why are
mistake.
you not throwing the first pitch?
I don't know who's going to bring it
You
out.
have a 90-mile-per-hour fastball.
They need to bring out.
I've always wanted to see you throw just throttle, and then I want to pitch to a batter. That's what I want to do. I
ceremonial
want
first
one
pitch
of
to a
the
live
Rochester
batter.
Red Wings to get in the box, and I'm throwing.
I'm throwing it.
And I want to see if he can hit it out of the park.
That'd be hilarious. The ceremonial first pitch is to a live batter that cranks it
Just
400 feet on
wouldn't
you.
that be amazing?
That'd be awesome.
Okay.
I haven't thrown it that fast since you were running sub 6-minute miles.
Oh, really? With those
it's
hands
been,
of
it's been a
yours,
long.
and
It's
your
been a long.
strength. and
It's
your-
been a long, long time.
Okay.
You get out of practice.
You think 80? You could get to 80?
No.
Wow.
No,
okay.
not anymore. No, 42, man.
42.
So the body is.
They did have
changed.
we did a team building over there, and I think I got to 60.
Did you really?
60, 65, because they had the cage all set up where you could throw.
Oh
as hard
yeah,
as you
that's
could.
great.
But I threw my arm out pretty good, but
You were
60s,
trying.
I was in the 60s.
Were you holding the ball real tight, or did you hold it loose like you would hold a?
I was
an
pretty
egg?
bumped up. I wasn't loose. It was too tight. Maybe it
Yeah.
was too tight.
Yeah, you gotta. My old pitching coach used to say, "Hold it loose, Lewis. Hold it like a feather."
Okay.
You know? And
I have championship rings home, but I think
Yep.
that's Saturday. They're giving those out, and
Yeah.
then Friday's the Friday night fair, the ceremony for the fireworks, and then the ceremony, and at the ceremony, and then the championship rings for the fans would be on Saturday. So that's what I'm
cool.
trying to say.
Yeah, they're gonna give out. I think first 2,000 fans get a ring on Saturday.
That
Like
is
a
cool.
replica championship ring because they are the AAA national champions. So good to see and good to have the jumbo
It
shrimp
is.
back.
Good to have him back. And
Good Morning Jackson will be out live.
Yeah,
Tomorrow morning.
baseball's never been hotter.
with the Jacksonville Suns. Can we say that?
Sure.
I don't want the ownership to come over here and
They're in Virginia.
mollywop me. That's a good point.
No, they're in Virginia. All right. So we got temperatures right now. There it is, the big dip. So we're on a roller coaster ride. We have a few more minutes left in the stream. I know Lou and I, thanks for letting us chat. We enjoy our chats.
The most
Thanks
fun.
for being here. Wish you could join in with us. And hey, we're talking about changes this weekend. We'll go over those weekend plans and then when we could get off this roller coaster ride. So stay tuned.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with First Coast News and First Coast News Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage with First Coast News and First Coast News Plus.
For 15 years, I've lived and breathed Jacksonville weather here at First Coast News. From stepping out in the midst of hurricanes to just delivering your daily forecast, I take it seriously because weather can impact your safety, but it also impacts your everyday life. So my job is to make it easy to understand so that you're prepared. I'm Lewis Turner, and as Chief Meteorologist here at First Coast News, it is my honor to be on your side.
Get your latest forecast on First Coast News Plus.
We have new details about a heavy police presence in Jacksonville Beach.
Driver fired gunshots along the interstate today, prompting a police chase.
Breaking overnight, police are investigating an officer-involved shooting.
Breaking news, a major crash on I-95.
Routine controlled burn got out of control. First Coast News was the only station there.
Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
All right, keeping this crazy train.
You ready? Crazy train. That's why we're just pumping up Ozzy Osbourne. And there it is, Lou. We go from 88 to 67. Here it comes. Here's your front.
Yep.
Notice I left that front on. Lou's the one that did this graphic. So if you have any
drew that on
emails,
there,
I came in and I had to use this.
Well, no, it looks good. I think it's a sharp piece of art.
It does look good.
And then they're high. So I like to look at these types of high pressure setups. Certainly the front's important. You get the squeeze, so you get the nor'easter. But and we're kind of brothers from the Carolinas too. This is a good. If we get that set up, that good cold air damming event, kind of the cold air wedge.
We talk about that in Atlanta. And
yeah, you get that set up in Columbia to Myrtle Beach, up through the mountains, and you talk about for Carolina forecasting. This is the thing that would bust temperatures more often than not was that wedge setup because once those clouds roll in. They get dammed up against the mountains.
And it's kind of like when we get a northeast wind or a nor'easter, those little nor'easters we have.
Yes,
because ruin a forecast.
You could hit 80. Well, like we saw yesterday, for instance, where we were near 80 in Lake City and Waycross, but just down the road, we got to 71 in Jacksonville and cooler. I mean, 59 degrees yesterday we saw when we were talking about all these warm temperatures in St. Simons and in Brunswick. So
here we go. Here we go again.
Yep.
There's Jacksonville's cold air damming, right?
Yep. CAD. We don't exactly have the mountains of Appalachia to dam up the air, but it's our version. But it's our version.
Yeah.
Of the CAD event. Love
it.
And
there it is. So 60, I didn't change. Did you notice I kept 67 and 71?
Geez. This is preposterous. Who are you? I come in usually most days and he's...
That is not true. We're usually very close.
Yeah, usually. It's funny. We have an unspoken rule in the world just to let you inside the business. It's like at 3 degrees.
Yeah. You and I I think we're different. We want to be right.
Right. So, but not 3 degrees with them being right. I say don't change a previous shift Met's temperature by more than 3. That was
okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was a
we don't
a Deganism as well.
Did he?
3 degrees is the gentleman's agreement. Maybe we have a handshake on it.
Yeah.
But I've seen Mike come in and drop my low temperature by 10 degrees, and it's
10. That must
don't know what I was doing the night before.
That's funny,
but nailing it. You know what I mean? But yeah, no. The weekend, Saturday in particular, windy at the beach. We're talking gust to 30, maybe upwards 35.
Hold on to the berries.
Oh, Strawberry Festival.
Yeah.
This is the kind of the opening ceremony for festival season around here because we got the Bradford County Strawberry Festival. Sunday's kind of the pick, and then we've got Clay County Fair that starts in a week.
Already?
So we're getting ready for that. So
it is the Clay County Fair.
We're getting close.
I want a big elephant there.
Like a big stuffed elephant. with the ping pong game or darts?
It was
or
I was
pop a
throwing the
balloon?
ball. Actually, James won. I was supporting him and
Oh,
cheering
good.
him on.
But
It
you
was
got
the husband, my daughter's husband, that won the elephant.
son-in-law.
We take a look at the rainfall this weekend. So, Degan, you say a wet nor'easter. Okay, are we going to get the wet nor'easter that Tim Degan used to talk about, or what kind of nor'easter? Every nor'easter is different. What do you see, Lou?
Yeah, so
You want me to zoom in here?
and rainfall rates not impressive. If anything, we'll watch for the misty, showery condition at the coast.
I would just check the website. Some days when we get these nor'easters, we just see wet.
Wet. And dim sun. You remember dim sun? He used to write dim sun on it. Dim sun. Wet and dim sun.
Okay.
And but
I don't remember that.
this is not quite fancy feast rain. And by that I mean the cat food tin about this thick. You open up a cat food tin and you put outside, and the stray cat comes and eats the food. And then is it going to be enough rain to fill up your cat tin?
I like that.
But I don't think
we
we're
should have done a catnap forecast. I didn't know you were going to talk about
cat food tin would represent about a quarter inch of rain.
Okay, I am excited. Okay, I'm going to go check
keep that
this
in
out.
mind.
I've got to. It's a quarter inch in the cat tin.
About a quarter inch in your cat food
And
tin,
there's
or your tuna can.
All
about
right,
a quarter
I
inch.
learned. This has been a great day for me. I'm learning.
So
keep going.
We don't have a fancy feast forecast for you when it comes to rain. Less than a quarter of an inch. This will barely dampen the bottom of your cat food tin out at Sawgrass.
Okay, Dan
700
Rather.
of an inch.
All right,
It's like a cat on a hot tin roof.
Goof. All right. Hey, Sporting Jacks, we're talking about the men. They lost last night.
They played Miami. That's a tough opponent.
Don't they have the All-Star, the world renowned?
They did. I don't know if that's still
okay. And then the women, the women are just doing amazing. So I've got a shot and a goal. Make sure you layer up. A very low chance of rain, but it'll be in the 50s. And even out toward UNF, we've got, that northeast wind gusting at 10 to 20. So that's the week. That's what this nor'easter's about. It's more wind than rain that Lou was talking about here. And so Captain Alvarez checked in this morning. He said, well,
we got a pompano there? What's he?
He said, this is the fish of the weekend because people don't need to go in the water. He said it's going to be too rough. Northeast winds 25 to 35 knots. So the pompano will be biting. So if you want to fish from the pier, we talked about the Jack's Pier. This is what's biting this time of year. They love when the water gets between 65 and 70. That's the sweet spot for these babies. Aren't they beautiful fish?
I
want one for my kitchen.
Pound for pound, a pompano.
Can I catch one and put them in a tank, or will they do okay?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't know if you can put that in your saltwater aquarium. I think you need probably a 10,000 gallon tank. Do you have a big one?
Big tank.
Put that thing in there and try. You have to feed it. You're going to need to feed it aggressively. Put a handful of live shrimp in there.
You need to come over and feed some of my large fish.
I would like to try it. Yeah, and put a pompano in there. Pound for pound, that's a fighter and a fun fish to catch. A jumbo shrimp would be a good piece of bait for a running pompano.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a chalkboard question.
All right, we're gonna have the answer. We kind of gave the question, the answer away, but coming up, we'll explain why we are getting off Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train. So stay tuned for that.
All aboard! We're right back.
That is the Protector.
This truck is a beast.
It's got all the tools on it. I love how big the tires are.
And this is going to be able to show you the weather around the First Coast like you've never seen it before.
The Protector really is going to help protect the community.
So you can see what it looks like on the ground. And that allows folks to really take action and do something about it.
And it gives us that edge in continuing to be the most accurate weather team.
Sponsored by HananiahAutos.com.
I'm Keitha Nelson. Good morning, Jacksonville anchor and mom of twins, Journey and Trey. I'm on your side, getting you out the door and off to a great start. Make the move. So Good Morning Jacksonville on First Coast News. Weekdays from 4:30 to 9, anywhere you watch.
There it is. Okay, all right, we only have a couple minutes, but we're getting off the crazy train after this nor'easter this weekend. We've been up and down all around. And Lou, there it is. So you can see we've had an amplified pattern, crazy jet stream, record-setting heat out west. There's the weekend. Watch what happens this weekend. We still have the cooler colors coming our way with that nor'easter. But overall, we look at the upper levels of the atmosphere and look what I see.
Start to retreat a bit, don't they? Those 850s return, and we get warmer air. Look at the
even DC
record heat for near mid-Texas and Oklahoma. They'll be dealing with record heat all the way up to
all the way
the banks of the Mississippi,
up to your Mets up there.
Oh dear.
The Braves and the Nationals. The Mets.
Gonna be warm for some baseball.
The Cubs. Yeah, so that's exciting. I think we do get off the roller coaster. We only have a couple minutes here. So 10-day forecast. Let's just feast our eyes on temperatures that get back in the mid 70s to near 80 by next week, early in the week. And then look, we finished March like a lamb. And then we stay beautiful. It looks like temperatures near 80 degrees. I do see another front in the long range. That
yes, I do too. That? Yeah, about April 5th, April 6th.
I used the European for this, but you ready? Yep. Drum roll, please. Here's the Easter. Very quick sneak peek. This could change. I stuck my neck out there.
People giraffe style.
Yeah.
Warmer patterns.
I'm like
82. I like it.
Giraffe. Leo. I used to feed a giraffe out at the Jack Zoo. Yeah. He's no longer with us. He was a famous giraffe. 82.
Taking us down.
Yeah. So hopping into sunshine.
R.I.P. Leo.
Southeast winds. We got a sunrise at 7:10. So real quick. So for your Easter plans, what do you think?
Oh yeah, what do you think? Great day. Perfect Sunday morning. Pastels, but nice
Easter
suit
bonnets.
For church, and then ready for a great brunch.
I agree.
There in the afternoon. And then my Easter power nap.
Yes. Do you have any traditions? So our traditions being now that our daughters are out of the house, we go to Gainesville and we watch baseball. I'm hoping the Gators play.
Oh, that's great.
Baseball. We did that last year.
It
was a lot of fun.
Yep. No, we still got the little ones, so we're gonna be.
But while you have them, just enjoy them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Goes fast.
Big day at church. Always take the big. Our church puts and a lot of churches do it. The cross with all the flowers.
Oh yeah.
Kind of on it. We get the family portrait there, and then kind of. Go for some brunch and have a great day.
Yeah, we like going to the beach for the sunrise services there. So if you're planning ahead, sunrise service at 7:10 a.m. And Malcolm, lots to be thankful for and blessed about. Malcolm, I want to thank you for producing the show. And what are you doing for Easter? No plans yet?
Big Sunday brunch.
Big Sunday brunch.
Hopefully he's not here working. I don't want him having to do that.
I know. Hopefully you're not working as well.
Not at all. Yeah. Love having Malcolm run the ones and twos.
Yeah.
Mike Franley, thanks for driving our 10-day here.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
I'm going to go buy some cat food now.
I'll see y'all back on this stream here at 4:30. So stay with us here on First Coast News Plus. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. Cat food.